Hey everyone, Artebreeze here once again. This is Summoner Wars League Season 9, Week 5. Dunky and Orange Lazarus for the championship. Does it get any better than this? Notice right away Orange Lazarus's PD are moving up into the midfield. The only thing I would say about that is that Deceiver is going to move down and stifle that Archer. That's a pretty expected move. The PD tend to like clustering their units in a 3x3 matrix. The Breakers like to move Takulu into the midfield under the cover of the Deceivers and start executing mind control and using other tactics to put a lot of pressure on the enemy summoner and expose them. I think Orange Lazarus probably moved his PD up because he wanted to limit the range that the Breakers have access to. The Breakers are one of the factions that can sit back with Wind Archers and hammer on that defensive structure, keeping the Wind Archers at bay with the Wind Mages, who push them out of the way after they shoot. Dunky's Takulu has also charged in and has been very quickly punished. A cavalry bear hopped off of that golem, and now there's 5 attack value being put on Takulu. Sometimes Takulu doesn't mind taking this damage because they can use mind control and they can turn it back on the enemy summoner. But here you see that Svara would be protected by that parapet. Instead, Dunky wisely falls Takulu back. Now, here's an interesting choice. I don't know why Dunky destroyed that bear and left himself open for that ice golem. Had he mind captured that bear, that ice golem would not have been able to summon anything off it to attack Takulu. Incidentally, here comes a Glacial Shift Ice Ram turn, the one big weapon that the PD have. I do believe that Dunky very intentionally moved into the midfield beyond his starting wall because he wanted to get at Svara early before Svara had this combo. Turns out Svara had the combo, and now he's getting punished hard. In fact, with 4 attack value melee and 3 range, that's enough for him to lose the game, and he's lucky he doesn't here. Of course, he's left with 1. Now here's where I think we're seeing something very interesting. With Takulu at only 1 health, surrounded by enemy units, usually the other player thinks they are down and out. But Dunky is not down and out. And that, I think, is part of why Dunky is such a great champ. I think mentality plays a bigger role in this game than people realize. I'm certainly a victim of losing because of a bad mentality. If you have the mentality that you're never down and out, you can sometimes pull off wins just like this one here. Of course, you need the dice to help you, but how many of us would have just given up the moment that Takulu was 1 health surrounded by 2 units? And here you're going to see what I mean about help. Orange Lazarus uses a 2nd Ice Ram and Glacial Shift in order to expose Takulu 1 more time. And 9 times out of 10, he would have been the champion of Season 9. But even looking at the board state now, this does not look good for Takulu at all. Watch this move closely. Svara begins the turn protected on all but one side with walls. There's the use of push after blowing up the parapet. Sends more down and puts 2, not 1, but 2 Deceivers on Svara. That makes it very hard for Svara to move because she will receive 2 wounds if she moves, not 1. But Orange Lazarus knows that Svara can't simply back away now that this damage has been done and both Glacial Shift and Ice Ram have been used. Look at their discard piles, how far apart they are. Svara has literally given almost everything she has, and Takulu has narrowly escaped. Hindsight's 20/20, But what I would have been looking to do if I were Svara in this moment would be to free that Frost Mage off that summoning point and try and get an Ice Golem and summon a Frost Mage on top of that Ice Golem and just get one dice on to Kulu, because that's all you really need to win. Svara sets her own demise up here by summoning an Ice Golem in front of her and not dropping that wall, which we know she had. The Breakers can move Ice Golems, they can't move walls. In hindsight, this was the move that cost Svara the game, because this Ice Golem is going to be moved and they're going to get one clean shot on Svara, and 4 dice was all they needed. We'll never know if Svara could have come back in this game being at an economic disadvantage to Cthulhu. If you're wondering how that happened, it's because every time you pour aggro on the opponent's summoner, you do so at an economic disadvantage. It's a natural consequence. Cthulhu could have lost that game twice, but didn't. Had a huge advantage. Congrats to Dunky. Thanks for watching. What a great season it was.